We've got huge sell signals today on AMD, Nvidia, Rocket Lab, and more. Plus, we'll be taking a look at some new buy signals and your threats and opportunities for today's market in today's Outlier Outlook. So what are we going, what is happening today? What is the kickoff here? Well, we can see the market is starting up. We're up about 44 basis points today, depending on where we close. And we don't know where that's going to be just yet. Could be the highest close if it can actually pull out a big, strong move, which is great, right? I love seeing bullish closes on the market, but we have so much stuff going on underneath the surface that makes me really, really anxious, right? Like tech stocks are driving this historic market gain. See, the tech sector has returned 225% since the bull market started in 2022, leading every other sector. It's followed by communications, which has surged 212%. Now, technology is going to have things like Nvidia and AMD. Both of those have sell signals today. You need to listen. You need to don't tune away because we're going to be getting to those in just a few minutes. But also, the communication sector has things like Meta and Google and Netflix, right? These big names have really been driving the market. And so that's what he's trying to get across here is that the market can't exist. The market really can't function without these guys, right? Otherwise, the rest of the market just isn't performing. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, right? That doesn't mean that the market is broken. That just means you need to be aware of where the risks are in this case, right? If there are some risks to one of those sectors, it could have a pronounced effect for the whole market. Hedgeye says the top 10 stocks now make up a record 41% of the S&P 500's total market cap. So the highest weighting ever in the S&P 500. Now, the S&P 500 is a market cap weighted index. The bigger the stock, the bigger the impact. Like, for example, Nvidia is as big as the entire industrial sector. Nvidia is big as the entire energy sector. Nvidia is as big as, it looks like, utilities and real estate combined and materials combined. Like, it is a big deal, right? So whatever happens to Nvidia, the entire market will be feeling that. And this is something that I've been really trying to push the last few weeks, is that this huge rally that we've been seeing has not been broad-based. It's been really concentrated in these big names, while the rest of the market has been struggling. How about that? We learned something today. So all kinds of bad, scary stuff out there, right? But the market just goes up higher, but we still have all the buy signals in place on the Nasdaq and on the S&P 500. So everything should be great, right? I wouldn't necessarily say so. We're still seeing more and more stocks getting sell signals inside of Outlier, but we have finally potentially hit a bottom on the uptrends and downtrends, and we might start seeing more uptrends and downtrends. At least that's what it's seeing right here. And this may have curved. We're still at 19%. 19% of the 9,000 stocks that we cover have buy signals. But you do need to be aware, right? Especially if you're trading anything in the energy sector, that there's definitely some threats going on with that. Now, to the big sell signals I was telling you about, Nvidia's got a big sell signal that just came through today. Tesla 2 days ago, AMD today, Supermicro 2 days ago, Oracle yesterday, and Rocket Lab yesterday. Some big names on the board just got sell signals. So yeah, let's look at AMD. AMD had a giant run, a huge run. This is what everybody dreams about. Remember, all stocks are bad, and every once in a while they act right. AMD acted terrible for months and then started acting right again and has been acting right for a hot minute. And this sell signal came literally 126% up. This sell signal, if you had been in this stock, would have given you 126% gains on this one move right here. That is absolutely bonkers. And like I mentioned earlier, the fear and greed has actually peaked and is starting to come back ever so slightly. It's starting to come down ever so slightly. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get in stocks that are getting more greedy, right? The more greedier a stock is, that's what we're trying to do, is take advantage of that move. And it doesn't necessarily connect with price. How about Nvidia? Nvidia, a sell signal on Nvidia. No. The stock only goes up, right? Well, it kind of popped up right leading up into earnings, but after earnings, it's really just gone sideways. Let's go to Nvidia real quick. Sideways to down. Oh no, more down than I expected. That was some notes from when I made some money on a few weeks ago. Yeah, Nvidia's got that sell signal today. You know what? We've had a great run on Nvidia, but now could be a great time to get out of the way. Take those profits and get out of the way. Rocket Lab. It was a rocket ship just a couple weeks ago, and Ace McKinsey, he says, "Oh no, my Rocket Lab." Yeah, now you got that sell signal, my friend. Look at how the greed like peaked and has just fallen off a cliff. It peaked around 79 and it's now fallen down into 64 within just a couple days. So Rocket Lab is not looking so good. Maybe it's time to abort the mission. How you like that? How about new buy signals on the day? What are some new opportunities come through? We talked about the energy sector a few minutes ago. First one up on the board was Chevron. That pulled through for me on here. So Chevron's got that buy signal. And looking at this, let's look overall, right? So the energy sector had been peaking up on the fear and greed, but it's starting to pull back ever so slightly. Energy sector also is getting bearish breath right now. So not as good as it was a couple days ago. But if you are going to get into this stock, just be aware, right? The trend is not super strong. And the breadth and the fear and greed and the sector is not super strong, but the stock itself has a bullish trend, has a buy signal. Fear and greed is growing, and there's no outlier blocks on top of it right now. Then let's go to GE, the next one on the list down here. GE, big name, big, huge name in the industrial sector. Again, the industrial sector isn't looking all that hot either. Fear and greed right here has been falling off a cliff, and the buy signal percent has been going down significantly, as well as the number of stocks with uptrends versus downtrends. Now, may have hit a bottom here on the number of downtrends, and it is within an uptrend now, but still not this stock, while it does have a buy signal, is not the one that I would be putting my money into. So just be aware of that. And then Kroger, the staple sector, has been showing a lot of strength lately. The fear and greed in the staple sector has a flat line to bottom and is starting to pull up. I know it's really flat right there. It's right at that crossover point between fear and greed, but it is growing. While breadth is also right at that crossover level as well. So maybe take that as a grain of salt right there. Maybe take that as a grain of salt. Now let's go look at Kroger today, because I want to see if it's showing that bullish trend today. It was yesterday, not so much today, So if you are interested in getting into Kroger, just keep your risk in check. Let's take a look at some other of the big names, right? Intel, we got that sell signal back on, what day was that? That was on May 11th, Monday, May 11th on Intel. Intel's holding up right here. So now may be a great time, if you haven't already, to take your profits and get out of the way on Intel. I'm just saying, that got super, super high, super, super greedy, and now has a super, super sell signal. Well, Micron, this has been one of those big stocks that everybody loved to talk about lately. Let's go look at that one real quick. Micron still has the buy signal active, and that started on April 13th. And as of today, that buy signal has gone up 78%. So geez, between AMD, Intel, Micron, you could have made a huge, huge killing for only 82 cents a day to get access to this platform. And then Qualcomm. Yes, April 17th, we got that buy signal. This is one I hadn't talked about in a while, QCOM. But I want to take a look at it today because of that huge move right there, right? Qualcomm sitting on a huge move today. April 17th was when the buy signal came through on April 17th. Right there. Okay, so that's where the buy signal came through. 10 over 20, price over 50. Pull back a tiny, tiny bit, and then the huge run happened. Still active buy signal. Qualcomm up 70% since that point. And let's take a look here at the last one of the day. Hey, we got a buy signal. Hey, you're gonna like this, right? We got a buy signal on Take-Two Interactive before we got GTA 6. Huh? Was that a good one? I don't know. I tried to fit the meme. Take-Two Interactive steadies GTA 6 launch. Sure. Take-Two Interactive Software earnings calls, buying more than just GTA 6. But it has had that buy signal since April 16th, and it has been pushing up higher and higher and higher since then, up about 10% so far since that point. So listen, there's a lot going on today, and I want to make sure that you are well informed, which is why you need to subscribe, because we're going to put this out every single day. This is the Outlier Outlook. And if you're ready to save time, make money, and start winning with less risk, head on over to outlier.com and grab the annual pass for just 82 cents a day. Click one of these two videos. We'll talk soon.